Hey everybody, my name is Kayla Glumack, and if you saw the title of this video, you probably already know that I have a stoma. So I wanted to do a Q&A video just to answer the common questions that I get about this, because I feel like it's such a great platform that I have to be able to spread more awareness about what it's like to have an ostomy, just to kind of reduce the stigma of it, because I'm a very open person. I like to share all the nitty-gritty details, so I'll try not to be too now, who am I kidding? I'm gonna be open. I'm gonna tell you like it is, because I feel like that's the only way that you really learn about something is to know about it fully. So I have my list of questions. Thank you so much for submitting them. If you have more questions too, definitely feel free to comment on this video, and if I get enough of them, I could do a part 2. So the question was, what does a stoma do? And basically for me, since my large intestine is gone, the very end of my small intestine is called the ileum, and they actually take that part and they bring it through my abdomen, and that is how stool comes out. And it comes out and empties into a bag. I'll show you the bag, why not? So, ooh, squeaky chair. So right now, oh gosh, can you even see it? I have it like tucked in my pants here. There we go. And so I got these ones. This is a 2-piece. And so basically inside there, inside here, I've got a little like stump of the part of my, why am I stuttering so much? Okay, I've got like a little stump basically of my small intestine. Oh my gosh, did you see my cat? And so that actually pokes out of my stomach. Hold on, actually I'll show you a picture, because that's why I brought this book out. Okay, so basically what they do is they create, so I had a laparoscopic surgery. And so that means that they just did 4 holes. So I have 1 incision above my belly button, and this just has glue on it, so that's why it looks so wide right now. I have 1 here, and then there was 1 right there. And then the 4th one was where they made my stoma hole. So basically what they do, this is the one that I had, where they did 4 like laparoscope type things, and then they take it out. You can also have other types of surgeries where you have like the open surgery, which is an incision in your belly. Anyway, my surgeon did it all laparoscopically, which I was so happy about, because less healing time and you feel better earlier. Then this is what the stoma kind of looks like. So basically you can see that it comes through your wall, your abdominal wall, and it looks like a little button kind of, but bigger than a button. Anyway, it sticks out of the abdomen here, and that is where the stool passes through. So hopefully that makes sense. But anyway, oh, I gotta bring you back up. Oh, yes. So anyway, I was going to tell you, I have a 2-piece, I have a 2-piece system. And so it kind of like clicks on. So you can see, this is how it's attached to my body. This is like a sticker wafer kind of thing. And then, no, what do they call it? A flange. I'm still new to this, bear with me. So anyway, I'll explain more about how I apply it too. But basically, yes, this is where it is. Oh my gosh. Hopefully this video is going okay. One of the other questions was, is your stoma permanent as far as you know, or is there another known plan for the future like a J pouch? So that's a really good question. And when I first met with my surgeon, he was really encouraging me to go ahead and do the next couple surgeries, which are, so this first one was just to make this stoma, and then the second surgery would be to create what's called a J pouch. And what they do with that is they actually take the end of the ileum, so that's what's sticking through my abdomen right now. They would actually like take that, put that back in, and make a J-shaped pouch, and that would be attached then to my rectum, and then it would be a new colon kind of thing. And then what you do is you have like a new ostomy higher up in the small intestine, and that allows your rectum to heal to that small intestine. Now this is all patient verbiage, so if it's not entirely correct, please correct me in the comments below, but this is what I understand from it. Anyway, so you'd have the new ileostomy for about a month, I think, and then you'd do the takedown surgery, which means that they would put that back inside you and then kind of let everything start up again. And so essentially you would be able to poo as normal. But basically, I have decided that I want to see how life goes having an ostomy bag, because when I have my kids, decide after that if I want to do the J pouch surgery, which right now and the whole time I've really been leaning strongly towards having the ostomy and keeping it. Ooh, my husband's home, yay! He rode the snowmobile across the lake to watch the dirt bike races, so he will be entering soon. But anyway, okay, let's go on to the next. Oh, so basically, for me, it is kind of permanent, but I think they have to do one more surgery because I do still have, hi. Oh, cute. He's gonna be coming in. Oh. Hi. How cute is he? Look at that. Oh, even better. Take it off. Okay, on to question. Okay, so the next question is your discomfort and pain that you felt for 16 years gone? Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's so crazy. Honestly, that is the thing that I was hoping would happen, and it did. It far exceeded my expectations. So that is such a good thing. I'm so happy. Yeah, that's just kind of sums it up. If you have the choice to do the surgery, do it, honestly, and don't look back. It's awesome. Okay, this was a really good question. Was your surgery and recovery as bad as you expected, worse, or better? Honestly, I feel like the whole thing was better than I expected it would be, except for the prep before the surgery. That was terrible. And no one really told me about that, so I'll tell you. Basically, you have to have a lot of laxatives the night before to really clean everything out, because my surgery was laparoscopic, so they have to pull the intestine out of, you know, the little hole where your stoma is going to be. So you want to empty it all out because you want it to be thin, you know, easy to pull out. So anyway, it was terrible to drink the laxative stuff and take the laxative pills and all the other stuff. I actually even took like nausea medication while doing the whole thing, and it still was terrible. I was so nauseous the whole time. Awful, but whatever. You can see that in my video about the surgery. But basically, yeah, and then the recovery has been way better than I expected to. I feel like I felt super good a couple days afterwards, and then when I was off of the hard pain medications, like, you know, oxycodone, which was great, then it was really painful for about a week. But then I woke up yesterday and today, and I feel pretty good. Like today I actually feel really good, so. Okay, distractions. On to the next question. What did you like or dislike about the support and education your nurses provided, and what did you find most helpful? That was from my friend Elise, who is a nurse, and she wanted to know so that she can help her patients better, which I think is so great. I love that. I had amazing nurses, and my first nurse that I had when I was waking up from surgery, or, you know, once I first got back to my room, was so incredible. And I think the biggest thing is that he never made me feel like he had other patients. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm well aware that the nurses have more than one patient, but he gave me all the time that I needed to help me get settled and ready, and helped me with absolutely everything, and really encouraged me to get up and take walks. That was something I really liked about him. And then also to be real with your patients. So I said, like, my pain was a 0 at one time, and he's like, good for you. No one's a 0 right after abdominal surgery. And I just thought that was so funny, because the whole time I was trying to be like, not, okay, actually this is one of my good things too, and I think other people might be like me too, where I'm so worried about being classified as like a drug seeker, you know, for pain medication. But everyone told me, like, it's okay to ask for pain medication. You just had abdominal surgery a day ago. So it's okay. But anyway, so that was kind of nice to know too. Yeah, I don't know. I liked the thing that I think was consistent about all my nurses is that they just, or I should say most of my nurses, because I think the one thing that I didn't like is when I could tell that they were stressed from an experience with another patient, that they had just come to me afterwards. You know, you can just feel it, the tension, you know, it's like, oh, it must have just been really hard. And the one nurse did tell me that she had a hard time with the other one, or it just was like, it was a lot. And that actually, I appreciated that, because otherwise I would have thought that it was me that she was frustrated with. So if you have another difficult patient, just kind of, you know, tell them. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know too. Okay, next question is, how often do you have to change your bag, and how do you shower or clean it? This is such a good question, because they wanted me to change it twice a week, but my insurance will actually cover getting 20 bags a month. So in a 30-day period, that's more than every other day a week, or every other day in general if I needed to change it, you know, and things happen, you know, people have told me that if they have leaks or whatever, like you have those extras for backups. At the end of the day, instead of doing it twice a week, I actually prefer to do it every 3 days max. So basically what happens with a bag change, so I'll actually show you the bag again here too, so you can see. Okay, so I wear a 2-piece bag. So basically you can kind of see, this is called a flange. And so it has like this sticky part that's all the way around, and that helps to stick to my belly. And then it has this little like circular thing, and this clips on to that. So if I wanted to, I could just actually take this bag off and put a new one on. But I do a 2-piece drainable one, so I can actually when it gets full or whatever, I empty it. So if you are if you're one that's going to be having an ostomy surgery and you want to know like when do you change it and yada yada, basically once you get up to the logo here, that's when you go and empty it, or you can empty it sooner if you want. Something that I also found that was really interesting too is when I left the hospital, I had the see-through bags, but then I got this one, which is called, it's like a beige color or whatever. This one, so the one from the hospital didn't have this little filter on it, so I noticed that it would gas up with air more. But this filter really helps it so that it doesn't fill up with air as much. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. But anyway, I take the entire thing off, and I actually use a Stoma adhesive, not Stoma, but like just an adhesive remover. And you kind of like work it so that you can take it all off. And I'll probably do another video in the future of how I do all of that. But basically you remove the whole thing and then you put a new one on. And so for showering, I actually bought a new thing called, here, let me put you back up. I bought this thing called a shower guard, and it's basically like an apron that you can wear, and you put your Stoma bag inside here so that it helps to keep the bag dry. And the thing that is useful with that is because, if you ever like go swimming and then you try to put pants on afterwards and it's just kind of like uncomfortable because you're like wet still, that's what it feels like when this all gets wet. So I try to keep it dry during the showers. You can actually, take your whole bag and appliance off for the shower if you want to. I did once. I don't know. I guess I'd prefer to keep the bag on because every time that you like change out the bag, you end up cleaning that skin around it anyway. So the cleanliness part is just fine. This kind of leads me to another question that I'm going to jump down to, which is, can you take a bath or hot tub or swim? Yep, I can. I can do all those things. And I always thought like, oh my God, am I never going to be able to do that? But you can, and it's so great. So basically when it comes to those kind of things, I've heard some, tips and tricks or whatever. If you wear either like a band around your bag or like high-waisted swimming bottoms, that will help it from like floating around in the water. That's like the biggest thing, I guess. And even whatever. If you want to wear a regular bikini, you can rock that too. You can do whatever you're comfortable with. But basically I just can't hot tub and stuff right now until my incisions are fully healed. So I'm just waiting for that. I get an appointment with my surgeon, or I have an appointment with my surgeon next Friday, and then I'll get cleared for that. So yay. Okay, back up to the other question. Does it smell? No. So that's a cool thing too. The bags are actually odor protecting, or whatever you want to say. And it helps to, also you can spray in there. They have these little drops that you can get or whatever to help diffuse the odor. And basically all it is when you're changing it or like emptying the bag, of course it's gonna smell as if you were going to the bathroom number 2, But you can use like poopery and spray it in there too. That helps. Okay. This is a really good question too. Does it hurt to change or empty the bag or move that bag around? Nope, it doesn't. And it's so wild because my actual belly is tender, but the stoma itself doesn't really have any feeling, which is wild. Another question was, do you have to wake up to change it at night? For me personally, or empty it at night, I guess. For me personally, I have only had to wake up once, and it was because it was really full of air. Can you feel on the inside the urge to go, or does it just kind of come out? So I thought like, oh, why can't I just take the bag off when I'm showering or whatever? And cause then like it won't come out, if I like put something over it or like, a little cover. But nope, it has a mind of its own, and it goes whenever it wants to. Sometimes I can kind of feel it, or like more so you hear it, and it's not It's not like it's super, super loud. Basically, it doesn't sound like a fart or anything. It sounds like your stomach grumbling, or like you can just kind of hear it go like, you know. What a good impersonation. Yeah. Yeah. Does lower abdominal digestion feel different now? No, I don't think so. The weirdest thing is I can kind of tell that I don't have a lower or a large intestine anymore because nothing ever like goes all the way through. Sometimes like right away I had phantom urges to like fart or poop, but nothing is there. So, and that's the crazy thing too. So they do tell you that you can produce mucus in your rectum still. And so sometimes you might feel like you have to go to the bathroom like you used to. And that only happened to me once in the last 11 days. I've had like several times where it's like, oh, I feel kind of like an urge, but then it just passes and nothing happens. But yeah, it's only happened to me once where stuff actually has come out, which is kind of crazy because you think like nothing should be there anymore, but yeah, whatever. Can you play sports? Yes, I can. I bought this thing called a Stoma Dome, and it's something that you can just like hook onto your appliance, and then it like I think of it as like a nut cup, so it would just protect it. It's a hard plastic, just domey kind of thing, and basically if a ball were to hit me, then it wouldn't hit my actual stoma. So, how do you care for yourself on an hourly or daily basis? So basically, I end up having to empty my bag about 5 to 6 times a day. So I'm kind of learning my routine, and I went out to eat with my grandma and my mom and my cousin yesterday. So I emptied my bag in public for the first time, which was so wild. And it was fine. It was, you know, just like going to the bathroom. It's great. Okay. How does it affect your eating and food choices? This was the most bizarre thing. So the surgeon said that I can actually eat everything I did before, except for the first 2 weeks I need to avoid raw fruits and raw vegetables. But everything else is basically fair game. And then also once I get back into eating like nuts and stuff, I need to make sure that I chew them super, super well. And that's kind of the theme of everything, that you want to make sure that you eat or you chew your food to the consistency of like baby food or applesauce. So that way it doesn't have it doesn't cause a blockage down the way, or if it's less digestion for the rest of your body. So what else was I gonna say about that? Oh, something that I've learned too, so you have different types of foods that you can have, and that thickens the output is what they call what comes out of the stoma. And so it can be any sort of consistency from very watery and runny to thicker. And they kind of want it to be in between, sort of like a applesauce consistency. And different things that make it more thick, if it's too runny, is the best foods: cheese, pasta, great things. And then bananas too. So I do have bananas on hand at all time, and like I kind of just see how the day goes. Sometimes it gets too thick and sometimes it gets too thin, and you really have to just juggle your day and adjust accordingly. One of the things, without having a large intestine, the function of the large intestine is mainly to absorb water. So for me, I have to be really conscious to drink water several times throughout the day. Not even several times, it's just like a constant of sipping water throughout the day to make sure that I stay hydrated. They don't recommend chugging water because that can push everything through too fast, and then I wouldn't absorb the nutrients from the food that's in my belly, So I also can't drink while I eat, which is weird. So, and it's not weird at home, but going to a restaurant, like you always have what you're drinking there, and I realized we went to Olive Garden yesterday, so I had a lemonade, and I only drank like that much before my meal came, and then I was like, oh shoot, now I'm eating, but I can't really like drink all of the rest of that easily, Basically what I can do is take tiny little sips if I need to like help food get down, but if I were to drink all of that, it would have just pushed the food right through me. So it's like, why even eat if you're gonna push it all the way through, you know what I mean? So basically you just kind of have to drink lots of water throughout the day. And then, let's see. How does it affect the clothing you want to wear? This is such a good question, and I want to do a whole video about how to style yourself with a stoma, because that's kind of been the biggest thing that I have found, is that where it sits is kind of like right below my belly button, and so I basically have to wear things that are either super low rise or super high rise and nothing really in the middle, which can be an issue, you know, and I found that different pants that I have aren't really gonna work. So that's been a big thing. Right now I'm just wearing really loose, comfy things because then it doesn't squeeze my stomach, because that's the biggest thing, is like it's just still tender from surgery, and eventually I know, you know, like seamless leggings will be really, really good to wear because they don't have the seam that usually goes right where your stoma is. But yeah, I'm gonna do a whole video dedicated to that. But basically it is you just have to do either high-waisted or low-waisted and things that aren't super tight. A couple things that I have bought are these special underwear from Ostomy Secrets, and they have this little pouch actually that it's like a little slip in the front of the underwear, or like on the inside of the front, and you can put your bag in there so it helps to like hold it snug to your body. And then they've been super comfortable, and I love them a lot, so I ordered more. I also have like a little wrap. It's a little band that goes around, and that can help to kind of like keep it tight. And then I did buy like a maternity belly band, so I'm gonna test it out with some of the jeans that I have once I'm like more healed up and stuff, just to see if I can like wear them without buttoning them, I think is the trick that people who are pregnant do. And then just see if that kind of feels better too. So yeah. What are the main changes you need to make in order to adapt to your new reality? Honestly, I think the main changes are mental. Accepting yourself for your new body, and keeping the people that are closest to you in the loop with when you don't feel good. Because I feel really good right now, but I also push myself too much, and then sometimes it's like, I just need to nap. And so if I tell my husband that, then he's more aware and willing to let me nap, instead of if I just go nap and he's like, come on, what's wrong with you? So I think being very open with everyone around you is very helpful, because that helps you feel accepted. And then also, yeah, I think just working on yourself and really preparing yourself, if this is your future too, learn as much as you can before you get into this lifestyle. Watch all the videos, ask all the questions, and that will be just great. Yeah. Okay, 2 more questions. One is, do you need to take certain vitamins now that the large intestine is gone? So no, actually the large intestine doesn't really do a whole lot of nutrient reabsorption. It just does mainly like the water reabsorption. It does absorb some nutrients, but not a ton to make a huge difference. I haven't been taking any supplements. I'm actually waiting to talk to my surgeon when I see them next Friday, because I want to see, you know, what my current levels are at and if I need supplementation. I don't know. And the last question is, can you get pregnant with a stoma? Yes, you can. So that's the one thing, like when I had ulcerative colitis and I've been really battling it for the last 2 years, the problem is when I had a lot of inflammation in my body, even if I were to get pregnant, it probably wouldn't have held on to the pregnancy, which is really sad. So now that that is out, basically my surgeon said once I am totally healed, I have the go ahead and I can get pregnant as easily as my body would, or as anyone else would. And you can totally carry a baby to term. You can have a birth naturally, vaginally, or I suppose it also depends on your doctor, but all of the possibilities are there, and that makes me so happy. I feel great. So sum of this whole video is I am so happy that I had this surgery. I feel really, really good. I feel energized. I've never felt this healthy in my entire life. And that is so weird. You know, my best friend actually told me before, surgery, she's like, you know, you don't even know what it's like to feel good because you've had this for as long as you can remember, you know? And she is so right. Like, I feel so healthy, and I don't know if it makes sense to anyone else who hasn't gone through this, but oh my gosh, I mean, having the thing that your body has constantly been attacking out of your body now, it's amazing. I feel really good. So thank you so much for joining me with this question and answer video. Hopefully you found it informational, and if you have any other questions, again, feel free to comment them below, or you can message me. I'd be more than happy to answer more questions. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!